Shang-Chi. What an amazing movie. Today, we'll be going through my thoughts and reviewing the movie. If you have not yet watched the movie, then please go away now because this will be very spoilery. So, again, back away now. Let's get into the video.
Here we come, Jiren!
What's good, guys? Luca here, bringing you guys a new video and another review for the channel. Today we'll be reviewing the movie Shang-Chi, the new Marvel movie that literally everyone's been talking about. I have watched it myself. I actually watched it on Saturday, on the 4th of September. I was so hyped when I watched it. I literally even screamed in the cinema. I didn't even scream like screamed. I went, yes! Like when a specific moment showed up. But no, I can't really say much about this movie. It is amazing. But again, like I said, if you have yet to watch the movie, then get away from this video because there's going to be a bunch of spoilers within the video. So this is your final warning. But without further ado, let us now talk about the movie itself. Now, the movie as it started, I was somewhat confused, of course, because it's called Shang-Chi. We thought we were going to see, obviously, the main guy, which I thought in his name, in all fairness, I can't remember his name. I know I've seen him in other things, such as Kim's Convenience, because I have watched that. A very funny show, recommend you go watch that. And yeah, Shang-Chi, he was an amazing movie. And basically, the movie was about, obviously, a mother and father, or two people. At first, they fall in love, and they eventually create a child known as Shang-Chi, and they also create a second child, which is known as Yang Li, something like that. I can't remember. I'm not very good when it comes to remembering names and whatnot. But Shang-Chi, pretty much, he was a descendant of a man who was like 1,000-year-old, and pretty much this man was obviously Shang-Chi's father. And Shang-Chi's father was actually the owner, well, not the current owner, rather, of the 10 Rings. Now, hence the movie being called Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings. So he has held this and these items, these legendary items, for many years, 1,000 years to be exact. And he has conquered wars and he has made a name for himself over the course of centuries and centuries. He is basically even still alive in this current era, like in the era we're in. And this man eventually fell in love with a woman from a magical place which he was trying to find and conquer for himself. Then it changed him, and of course, like every depressing backstory, his wife, eventually to become wife, died in a horrible accident because of his past actions of being a bad man. And then he took that pain out on his children, pretty much, because he wanted to train his children to be the very best so he could get vengeance for the man who killed his mother, or his wife rather, and their mother. And yeah, pretty much like any other backstory, it was pretty wild. But here's the twist to it. Shang-Chi obviously went to go kill the man that killed his mother. And yeah, he actually killed the man but never came back. Which again was all actually according to the father's plan, because he wanted Shang-Chi to have 10 years to live his life. And then yeah, he pretty much brought him back to obviously lead the new empire and be able to wield the 10 rings. I'm just going to call them the 10 rings because why the hell not? I don't think there's any other specific name for them, but why the hell not? Alright, that was a mouthful. Jesus Christ. But yes, obviously after a while, Shang-Chi then changes his name to Sean, and he meets a girl called Katie, who they end up going to school together, and they end up going to do a lot of things together. They eventually just become best friends. And then obviously one day, Shang-Chi's past comes to chase him and bite him back in the ass, as he has forced to fight. And yeah, that's when everyone knows his secrets, and he becomes the assassin, I suppose, because his father was an assassin, so his father trained him to be an assassin, so then he becomes the assassin once again. So Shang-Chi then has to go to find his sister, because his sister sent him a postcard many months ago, but it actually wasn't the sister, it was his father. The father had tricked them so the two could be together and bring him home. So yeah, pretty much that's how that part went. Like, I'm not going to explain fully in detail the movie because that would just be pretty much spoiling the entire movie, but I'm just going to explain briefly because the whole movie, there were other things, of course, that I would want to explain, but again, we're just going to stick with the main parts. So moving on, obviously Shang-Chi and Katie end up going to somewhere in China, I'm pretty sure it's China, and they end up finding a sister who owns a fight club. And then the sister explains, "Oh, you never came back for me." She's got some sort of vendetta for the brother, or against the brother rather. And yeah, pretty much she hates his brother, or her brother rather. Can't speak, bloody hell. And yeah, they kind of don't really get along all that often. I don't know if you can tell. Like, this seems like a very anime plot type of movie, but again, it's Marvel. Marvel always have good ideas, and yeah, I actually quite like the movie. Like, if I were to rank the movie, I'll actually give it my ranking a bit later on, but still. Like, as I was saying, excuse me. So they went to China to go find a sister in a fight club that she owns. Shang-Chi and Xiang Li, I think that's the name of the mother, I'm not entirely sure. Someone correct me on that if I'm wrong. Because, again, I am going off based on my knowledge from yesterday, and I'm not entirely sure of all their names. I only remember Shang-Chi, the Mandarin, which is the father, and Katie, and a few other characters, of course. But I keep getting the mother and sister's names confused. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But yeah, pretty much, yeah, the father set them up so they could be together, so he could take them both home. And yeah, in all fairness, the father didn't really care much about the daughter, because the daughter wasn't supposed to, like, in his eyes, women aren't supposed to fight. Like, that's kind of something that is not, how do I explain it? Like, obviously it's a sexist thing towards women, that women aren't allowed to fight. Women have as much right to fight as men do. But of course, in this movie, the Mandarin, let's just call him, Shang-Chi's father, found it differently. And of course, in China, I'm not sure how things work in China, but obviously in China they have different rules, so I'm not entirely sure. I'm not going to go much into it, obviously, because I don't want to have some entire political argument on YouTube. So let's just keep on with the review. So eventually, Shang-Chi and his sister, let's just call her that, because I can't remember her name, no offense, were brought back to their home in God knows where, the Temple of Doom, for whatever we know. But still, basically they were brought back home, along with Katie. And the father was explaining how the 10 rings have the power to go to, what's it called, this new place, Yang Lao? I think that's what it's called, something Lao, I can't remember. It's the place where the mother is from. Like, and yeah, the mother was from a magical place with mystical creatures. You have, what's it called, little flying things with no face. You have an actor from Liverpool, and yeah, many things. But the father is also having these wild delusions that he thinks that his wife is trapped, or her people trapped her, and she's trapped and she can't escape. And then basically the father's convinced that he has to go save her, but what he doesn't know is it's actually the rings that are actually making him hear these delusions. He's going a bit crazy because obviously he's been grieving the loss of his wife. Now, of course, the wife, the mother of Shang-Chi, how she died, she was murdered because of her husband's actions, and Shang-Chi could only watch because he could not fight and defend himself back then. But then obviously the father took a stand and decided to just, you know what, I'll teach my son how to fight. And yeah, that's how it worked. And then eventually, Shang-Chi and his sister disagreed with the father and just locked them up, along with Katie. Because Katie is just kind of a bit of a side character here. Like she's not really a side character, but yeah. But yeah, and later on, obviously, Shang-Chi and Katie, they eventually come out, or Katie and the sister as well. They eventually get out with the help of the Liverpool man. He's an actor from apparently the 1989 or 19 something, really old ages, I don't know, old people will know that, no offense to old people. But yeah, pretty much they would get out, and this little thing with no face, this little magical creature with no face, could eventually find them the entrance to the forest that they were looking for, which gets them into the village where the mother is from, where they go and meet their auntie for the first time. And their auntie teaches them how to fight in the style of their people. And of course, they give them dragon armor, dragon weapons, because dragon armor and dragon weapons is the only thing that can actually beat what is coming. And what is coming is a very bad monster that basically looks like Satan himself. And yeah, but it's all mythical creatures, so don't worry, I don't think it is pretty much Satan, but still, like, consider this as a satanic creature because it's pretty much the Satan to their world. So pretty much it sucks their souls to get more powerful, and the only way to free it is to use the rings. And of course, Shang-Chi's dumbass father thought his wife was behind the wall that they were keeping him, but it was actually the wall to free the dragon. And yeah, the dragon, more like the evil dragon. Let's just say it's an evil dragon, and there's a good dragon, which apparently Shang-Chi has the heart of the good dragon, and he's able to not entirely control it, but he's able to befriend it, you could say. And pretty much Shang-Chi eventually goes and fights his father, and yeah, he has control of 5 of the rings at first, and then eventually the Mandarin is eventually eaten alive, or his soul is eaten alive by the monster that he freed. And then the Mandarin eventually bequeaths the 10 rings onto Shang-Chi, which now Shang-Chi has control of the rings. And with the help of his sister and everyone from the village, they are able to defeat the monster. And yeah, after defeating the monster, they go and tell the story of their endeavors and encounters with all of this to their friends who are living a normal life. And yeah, not gonna lie, there were very, very many comedic moments within this movie, which I absolutely loved. And it's kind of a comedic Marvel movie with a lot of action. I really liked it because, again, I'm a really big fan when it comes to martial art movies. Like, as you know, I'm a really big fan of Dragon Ball as well, and Dragon Ball's got to do a lot with martial arts. So Shang-Chi, like, I feel like it resonated with me when it came to martial arts. Like, one thing I've always wanted to learn is obviously to learn how to fight or do martial arts for myself, but I've just never had the patience or effort to be able to do it because I don't like things that require too much effort for me because it's just too much work. But again, Shang-Chi was definitely up there for movies. But then we have not one but 2 end credit scenes, a mid credits and an end credit scene. We're going to talk about the first end credit scene or mid credit scene. Basically, while Shang-Chi and Katie are talking to their 2 friends who are living a normal life, Wong, actually that's another thing I forgot to mention, Wong and Abomination were both in the movie, but they were very short cameos in the movie. They introduced inside of the Sisters Fight Club. So yeah, pretty much that they weren't there for very long. They were there for about 2 minutes each, and then Wong came back at the end of the movie as well. However, Wong's role played a much bigger one than Abomination's. Wong, at the end of the movie, came to go get Shang-Chi and what's her name? Katie, that's it, and saying their roles will be much bigger in the very near future. So yeah, and eventually we find out, which is going to be a massive cliffhanger, that Shang-Chi's rings, the 10 rings, are actually like a beacon to something. They are hiding something even bigger. Now, could this have to do with the multiverse splitting? Obviously, as you know, if you saw Loki, spoilers as well, like I said, everything is spoilers in this video. If you saw Loki, we have the timelines, the sacred timeline, which are split into multiple timelines, which is going to make me think that Kang the Conqueror is involved, but it seems the 10 rings are leading towards something else. So is it possible you have 2 potential threats on the way, one being Kang and one being this new threat? Because it says it's a beacon, so that means someone has the beacon inside the rings and they're in trouble, and they are trying to maybe potentially warn us of a potential threat that is coming, along with Kang the Conqueror. I'm pretty sure that's his name. So, aside from that, we also had another end credit scene, which was more or less a kind of minor one. The sister eventually took over their father's home, or her family home, and made it into her own fight club, a much bigger one, refurnished and everything, where women can actually fight, rather than just men and women. So it's more of a women's fighting club this time, rather than just a man's one. But yeah, aside from that, in the entire movie, that is pretty much it. And as a whole, I really did enjoy the movie, and I was very happy to have watched it. I actually went to go watch it with a couple of my friends, James Bond, known as Ansel, if you don't know him, and Zelkin Rods, obviously, if you don't know him. Again, they don't do YouTube anymore, but I still go and watch Marvel movies with them, and yeah, I really enjoyed the movie, really did. If I were to rank this movie on my top 3 Marvel movies list, it would go in my top 3 100%, but it would go on maybe, I'd say, 3rd place. It's just reaching 3rd place, because I still love Endgame, Black Panther, and this would definitely go on 3rd place. Because I I had maybe Far From Home on 3rd place, but no, Far From Home might have been replaced. I'm not gonna lie. I love Black Panther because, as you know, I'm a massive Black Panther fan. I love Black Panther. My wallpaper on my desktop actually used to be Black Panther, but again, we're here to talk about the remaining time of Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, again, allowed to rank it out of 10. I give it more than a 10. I give it a 15. And as well, I'm gonna rank a few other things. When it comes to soundtrack and music, I love it. I already downloaded the whole album thanks to my mate from secondary school, being Ansel, James Bond, as you know him. I've got the entire album, and literally the music was an absolute pop. You need to download the songs rather. It's called I don't know what it's called. I'm pretty sure the album is just called The 10 Rings. Like the picture, like where it shows, it's basically got the 10 rings. You have to absolutely listen to all those songs. They're an absolute pop. They brought in everyone for this. They even brought in Lil Uzi, bro. That is how fire that album is. Like, I actually cannot wait to like hear more from Shang-Chi. Like, I actually can't. Like, on top of that, we also got a short cameo from Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, whatever you want to call her, and we also got a cameo from Bruce Banner, which, if you happen to notice, Bruce Banner wasn't Hulkified anymore. So he's no longer Professor Hulk, he's back to Bruce Banner, and it seems that he still has a broken arm from using the Infinity Gauntlet. So it seems that this movie takes a place short bit after the Infinity War Endgame. So perhaps we're going to get much more to come from Shang-Chi. And we did also get at the end of the movie that Shang-Chi will return. So I'm very much looking forward to it when we get him in maybe the new Doctor Strange movie, which I've forgotten it is. Multiversal Madness, I think that's what it's called. So yeah, I can't wait to get that in the new Strange movie, Doctor Strange, because literally Shang-Chi I'm hoping he makes an appearance, because now that Wong has made an interaction with him. We also saw in the Spider-Man trailer that Wong also said don't cast that spell to Strange. At that very same time, he could have been talking to Shang-Chi, or he could have also been training him. So that is a very, very good point I'm making here. So yeah, there is a lot to come from Shang-Chi, but like I said, Shang-Chi, give it a more than a 10 out of 10 if I could. It's definitely on my top 3, and music was amazing, movie was amazing, everything was amazing about the movie. I really have nothing more to say about this movie. It's just a great movie. I recommend you go watch it as soon as possible, like if you haven't already. But still, once it comes out on Disney Plus, I would actually pay money to get the movie. Even when it comes out on DVD, I would buy that shit on DVD. Don't even care. That's how good the movie was, in my opinion. And there were quite a few Dragon Ball references in the movie as well, like I just like to say. But that's beside the point. However, now that that is said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on what I thought about the movie, and of course like my thoughts on obviously future events and where Shang-Chi is going to go from here. But yeah, give me your thoughts also, where you think Shang-Chi will go from here, and where you think Marvel will go in this direction after this movie. Like, yeah, I just don't know why I took a pause there, but still. Anyway, aside from that, hope you guys enjoyed the movie. Hope you guys enjoyed the movie if you haven't watched it yet. I hope you guys enjoyed my review and my thoughts. I'm Luca, and I will see you guys in another video. Peace out, guys.